Well, hey friends, welcome back to Watavue Mountain. As you can see, we're not at the mountain today. We're going to keep bouncing back and forth like this with little projects at the house here in suburbia and projects up on the mountain. So today, what do we have in store today? The project at hand is we're going to take care of this concrete front porch. So we're going to do some acid staining. It's a long process. First we got to clean it. I'm just going to blow it off, then I'm going to pressure wash it. Then we're going to use the etcher that we bought to help open the pores of the concrete. Then we're going to rinse that off. Then we're going to do the acid stain. So it'll just be me for the first little bit because Sean's got to work. Somebody's got to make the money. So stick around, grab you something to drink. Coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is, depending on what time of the day it is, and sit back, relax, and enjoy. There's not going to be much talking in this one. It's just going to be working. I'll try to explain the steps in between as we go about what we're going to do next, but then it's just going to, because it gets pretty boring just watching somebody scrub a concrete patio. But hopefully you enjoy. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for checking out our channel if it's your first time here. We love doing projects, big, small, whatever. And we love sharing them with you. So sit back, relax, get you something to drink, and let's get this done. Okay, so as you see, that was pretty easy. Just get the blower, blow off all the loose stuff. Now we're going to grab the pressure washer and we're just going to hit it with plain water. Nothing else, just the plain water. Just to get whatever surface dirt off. There's some bird poop, some other stuff like that. And then help just kind of pre-wet the concrete. So then once we come back with that etcher, it'll work better. So let's do that. Alright, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let me show you what we're working with here. I know I didn't explain it very well. So over here we have a sprayer. Just one that's durable enough to handle the bleach. You can find those online. We got us a mop, so when we come back, and it's microfiber instead of the other terry cloth ones, so it doesn't leave any fibers behind. So this will be used when we rinse after we do all this. So we'll kind of go in order. So first thing we're going to do, like I said, we're going to pressure wash after we already blew it off. You can just sweep it off if you want to, just to get that loose dirt. Then you're going to use some etch and clean, something like this. A lot of these companies come with a whole package where it has the etch and clean, it has this acid stain, and it has a sealer already in it. But we went and mixed and matched because it was cheaper. So we're going to etch. Then before we do our acid stain, optional step, I got some plastic and some tape. I'm going to wrap those posts just to try to protect them from any overspray, as well as the stones on the front of the house, again to protect from any overspray, because then I'm going to load up the sprayer. We're going to use two different colors. We're going to use this golden sand and this brown stone to try to give it a swirled effect, which is really what we're looking for. So we're going to go with the lighter coat first, the light stuff, the golden sand. Then we're going to go with the brown stone over that on a very, very light coat. So we'll go heavy on the golden sand, light on the brown stone. We're going to let that sit for 2 to 4 hours. As we put this down, we're going to use this this broom rather, that's got soft bristled brushes. It's not real stiff. This is just to help push the acid down into the cracks, into the nooks and crannies of the concrete, and to help keep it from pooling, because we don't want it to pool in any one area, because it'll burn down into that concrete even more in that one particular area. So we'll use this brush to do that. Get this down in there. After we let this sit for a little while, again, they have their own neutralizers, but we're going to just use plain old ammonia. So we're going to probably mix it 50-50. I read several different things. It said 10 to 1, 10 parts water, 1 part ammonia. I saw a couple people that failed doing that, and the acid just kept burning and it got way darker than they wanted to. So we're going to use a lot more ammonia to make sure we neutralize that acid when we're happy with the color. And then once all that's done and said, and that's good and dry, then we're going to come back. We're going to use a roller. I recommend getting concrete brushes for your roller. They make them specifically for concrete to help get this stuff on there nice and easy. And we're going with a Valspar. Again, we kind of mix and matched. This one is not a high gloss finish. If you like a high gloss finish, then go buy some high gloss concrete sealer. We wanted a kind of a natural look, so we're going to try this out and see how that does with the roller. So that's all you need. We do have this scrub brush that I oversaw. We do have this scrub brush that I skipped. This is a very stiff bristle brush. I'm going to use this when I use the etching and cleaning to make sure that I can clean down in those grooves and those gaps. As you saw on the front porch, we have lots of red clay. Thanks, living in Georgia, gotta love it. But we've got lots of red clay down in that concrete. So I want to make sure we get most of that out before we come back and acid stain it. So now that you know everything we're using, now let's go get to work and get this thing cleaned up. All right, let's go take a look and see how we did with the pressure washer. Now I know you're probably thinking the same as me. That's a pressure washer. Of course you got everything off, right? Not so much. That's why we still got to come back with the etcher. So let's grab the camera off the tripod and let's go take a tripod. Let's take the camera off the tripod and let's go take a look and see how we did. So let's take a little walk and look. As you can see, some of these stains did not come up. That's just good old Georgia red clay. Especially right up here by the front door where we go in and out. That pressure washer really didn't get it out. It opened it up a little. So hopefully that etching and cleaning will get it out. I think that is an old stain. So we'll have to try to find something to get that up and then come back and rinse that real well. And then the worst of it is over here in the corner. So it's going to get real bright here for a second. Then let's adjust. You see it looks like it's almost already stained. That's just from the clay coming in over the side over here. So again, hopefully that etching will do some magic and we can get this all cleared up and get it cleaned out. Because I mean, I guess it wouldn't be terrible if it stayed, because it'll just add some more personality to the stain. But we'll see if we can get some of this stuff up. So let me go grab some other equipment and let's see what we can do. All right, so let's try out some mineral spirits here. And a wire brush. I'm just going to pour a little bit on here. Let that sit there for just a second. Alright, got those up. Now let's grab the pressure washer and get this really nice and rinsed off. Okay, so now we pour our etching clean into our pump sprayer. And I went to the website just to make sure I was doing it right, and this takes 0 dilution. It says just put it straight on, let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes, scrub the areas that you think need scrubbing, and then rinse it off with some water. So I already got it loaded up in the pump sprayer. I got it pumped up, so let's get to spraying and see what happens. so we got all that done. Rinsed, rinse, and re-rinsed, right? The solution to pollution is dilution. So I rinsed it about 3 times, and let's take a look and see if the etch helped on some of that good old Georgia clay. All right, as you can see here in the door, in front of the doorway, it helped out pretty well. It's not all gone, but again, I think it'll add some good character to it. A little black spot still not completely gone, but that's okay. We're about to burn up this concrete. So pretty good. And then over here in the corner, I know it's tough to tell with this light. Let's see if I can get a decent angle. But it's better than it was. I know you can't appreciate that, at least I can't right here on the camera. I can't appreciate how much better it is. It's still not great. But again, this is kind of the pattern we're going for with this acid stain. We don't want it to all be uniform. We want it to all look a little bit different. So now we're going to let this dry for a couple hours, and then we're going to get everything taped up. So let's maybe take a little lunch break, and then we'll come back and start taping some stuff up. All right, so as you will see, my reinforcements have arrived. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this this plastic so we can wrap these poles, and then we're going to try to cover the brick on the front of the house, so when we spray the acid, we don't get it all over everything else. So if Sean would be so kind as to come over here and help me. So there you go, easy breezy. We taped off those posts, wrapped the plastic around them. Wasn't a hard task, pretty simple. Change of plans though on this wall. We were gonna do the similar thing here. We were gonna roll out that plastic, tape it up to try to protect the stone from the acid while we were doing it, but somebody came up with a better idea.
Because I watched the video, surprise, surprise. And I'm going to take a paintbrush and paint out along the bottom from one end to the other, so we don't have to tape this up, and then we could we'll paint maybe that much out from the wall out, and then we'll spray the rest.
Yep. So let's get everything together. This is not quite dry yet. It's Football Friday. As you see, I got red on. Brings me to another point. Wear red on Fridays. Remember, everybody deployed. Red. Anyhow, wear your red on Fridays.
Be optimistic.
Be optimistic, okay? So, we're not going to finish this today. We could finish this today, but we have a football game to go to. It's our first game of the season. So, we're going to go to that instead. So, we'll see you tomorrow when we're back out here. We'll get some stain laid out on here and see how it looks.
Be safe.
All right, good morning, friends. We're back. We won the game, by the way. So this morning, we're going to do some acid staining, that is, not that kind of acid. I know where your mind's at. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with this golden sand. Sean's going to use a brush to edge along the wall so we don't get it up on the brick. I'm going to fill the sprayer. We're going to spray, and then as we go, we're going to use this soft bristle push broom to kind of work it in a figure-8 pattern to get it down into the nooks and crannies. So that'll be the plan to start. Then after we're done with that, we're going to come back. I'm going to I'm going to take this acid out of the sprayer, put the dark acid in the sprayer, and we're going to kind of just lightly spray that over, so it kind of gives us that tortoise effect, tortoise shell, or whatever it's called, and hopefully that'll work out. So that's the plan for today. So again, grab yourself something to drink, whether it's coffee or something stronger, and sit back, watch, and enjoy. Okay, so as you can see, we put down the golden sand first, and that's our base layer. That's going to be the light layer. And then we came back with the darker color, the brown, and I just kind of wafted it. We didn't rub it in, just kind of let it lay where it lays. And in theory, that's going to give us that tortoiseshell look that we're looking for. So we're going to wrap this real quick. We're going to just wrap some plastic around all these beams just to keep the dogs off of this acid for the next 4 hours. So we'll do that real quick, and then we'll see you back here in about 4 hours. Okay, so we're at about the 2 hour mark, and we're not loving what we see here. So we came back about an hour ago, did a little overspray to try to make a little design, still not loving it. So let's take a look and see what we got. So as you see, we still have a bunch of spots. We tried to do this design kind of thing. It's just not what we were going for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna refill the sprayer with the darker color, the dark brown again, sand brown I think it's called, and we're just gonna spray over everything. Then we're still only gonna wait 2 more hours so that the stain we're about to put on now only has 2 hours to sit. The original stain had 4 hours to sit, so we're hoping it's gonna give us kind of a layered look once it's all finished. So let's reload the sprayer with the dark brown and spray this whole thing again. Okay, so we resprayed everything with the sand brown, and as you can see, let me grab the camera, we'll move it up here, we'll take a closer look. So as you can see, it's already starting to dry. It dries really quick. It's hot today, about 90 degrees. So hopefully this will give us the look that we're going for. So we're gonna let this sit for about 2 hours, then we're gonna come back and check it and see if it's what we want, and then neutralize it. So we'll see you in 2 hours. All right, so it's been about 4 hours since we put the first initial coat on, about 2 hours since the second coat has been put on. As you can see, it's nice and dry, and it's got this residue on top. So what we're gonna do is, I mixed the ammonia and water in the sprayer. Different people say different things. Some say ½ cup per gallon. I saw a couple folks that didn't work out so well for them. I wanna make sure that we have this neutralized, so I mixed it 50-50. So I put a ½ gallon of ammonia and a ½ gallon of water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray this just like we sprayed the acid. Then I'm gonna come behind with the broom, and I'm just gonna push it back and forth. I'm not gonna put any downward force on it. I'm just gonna let it kind of help pull that residue off, because we wanna deactivate the acid, but we don't wanna pull any up. So if I scrub real hard with this brush, I could potentially pull some more of that acid out of there. So let's go ahead and get this thing sprayed down, get it cleaned up, and then we'll start getting it hosed off. everything's rinsed. It's been neutralized, so now all that residue and everything that we've just washed off of the patio is just inert. It's not positive, negative, it's not acid or base, it should be neutral, so 7.5-ish pH. So now we just need to let this dry, and then we're going to come back and put a sealant on it. So let's see how long this takes, and then we'll come back and throw some sealer on here. Alright, so as you can see, the lighting has changed because it's now several hours later. So we got all of the residue off the top. Everything is dry. We put the fan out here to help speed along the process so we can at least get one coat on tonight before it gets dark. So Sean's going to pour it out, I'm going to roll it out, and we're going to get this first coat of sealer on there. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so there you go. Easy breezy. First coat of sealant is on. It's about 5:30, almost 6. So we're not going to do another coat tonight. It's got to dry for at least 2 hours before we put another coat on. So we'll pick this up again tomorrow. So much for being a one-day project, huh? But we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll get this thing finished up. Alright, so we're all done. We snuck out here last night about 8 o'clock and threw on that second coat. It went exactly the same way as the first coat, and the lighting wasn't great, so we didn't film it. So here we are now, day 3. We really finished it in 2 days. I think we could have finished it in 1 day.
Yeah,
what do you think?
we could have. Yeah, it's an easy enough project to do in 1 day.
Yeah.
If you start early.
Yeah, if you start early on day 1, I think the longest wait time is just waiting for stuff to dry. So whether it's waiting for the concrete to dry after you wash it, waiting for this acid stain to set up for its 4 hours, and it all depends on which manufacturer you go with, how long the wait time is for that. But we're pretty pleased. We're going to roll some B footage here at the end so you can kind of see. It's tough to tell the way the light's shining on the patio right now, but it came out, I think, pretty well.
It did. I think the only difference I would do is a gloss, because in the beginning I didn't want to do a gloss, but after looking at it, I think it would make a difference.
Yeah.
But I'm still happy with it. I'm still completely pleased with the way it turned out.
So yeah, so lots of different options. You can go with a gloss, you can go with a flat like we did, you can go with a water-based, or you can go with a petroleum-based, and there's different theories for different ones. We'll see how this holds up. If this doesn't hold up, it's water-based. If it doesn't hold up, we'll come back, we'll do an update video, and we'll let you guys know if it doesn't work.
Yep.
But pretty simple project, all in all. It's just getting the materials together, taking your time. That was the hardest part, I think, as well for us, was waiting. I kept coming out every 5 minutes checking the stain. I was like, come on, start working. I want to see some color change.
And it's not an expensive project.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Just to try something different.
And a little trial and error. You know, we had to come back and spray it 2 more times after the initial spray because we weren't really liking the way it was looking. And that's the great thing about the acid, is I can just add more. And then when we like it, we just hit it with the neutralizer and we were done.
But a good lesson for when we get the big cabin. We know now what to do in the basement.
Yeah.
So
Yep, absolutely.
we're using this house to work on projects to improve on the big house on the
Yeah.
mountain.
Yep. So stick around. We're going to keep doing more projects here in suburbia that we're going to share with you as we go along on our journey up to Watavue Mountain to get to the big cabin. And we're going to try to mix it up a little bit here in suburbia, what we're doing here, to help, like Sean said, prepare us so we know what to do when we get there. We've already done it once. And then also to hopefully increase our resale value on this house when and if we ever decide to sell it. So
Ooh, I wonder if we have something from Amazon.
probably.
Sorry, FedEx just showed up.
Okay, so as always, thanks for hanging out with us. Hit like, hit subscribe over here or over there. Again, I still can't remember which way it's going to go. There's going to be another video. Check that one out as well. We appreciate everybody's support. We're absolutely blessed to be able to do these kind of projects, and even doubly blessed to be able to share them with you and get your feedback on them. So, yeah, thanks again, and as always,
Be safe.
be safe. We'll see you next time.